Alright, you guys, let's get this video going. How's it going? My name's Justin. Welcome back to some more ChronoClock. We're just going to jump into it. We're Misaki's route. Really excited. It's been really good so far. And I want to keep going and see what's going to happen here. As if on purpose, Misaki forcefully stood up and landed on her 2 feet with a thud. Awake now, are we? Alright, let's do it. Her will was back to normal. It was like the worried Misaki from a moment ago had just disappeared. She may not have solved her problem, but she'd gained the will to solve it. Oh, but I guess we'll need to decide on what day to go on our next... On what day to go on our date next. Oh, okay. Like, the way they worded that was confusing me there for a second. I'd already succeeded in cheering her up, but this wasn't what I expected. Uh-oh, what's going on? Uh-oh. What do you mean it wasn't what you expected? It may have been owed to the change in the scenery, but it seems she'd gotten more than just her will back. You played a lot better. Hell, given that tone of yours, you'd already know it, don't you? Yeesh, this girl has no idea how happy she makes me. Well, that's good. I mean, that's a good thing. Thanks, I think you ought to be more confident in yourself. You're able to improve in such a short span of time. Yeah, and that's the thing, like, practice should be fun, right? I mean, you want to do something you genuinely enjoy doing, not just grinding it out, you know? This isn't an RPG where you need to do the same task over and over and over just so you can start having fun. Misaki smiled as she drew her bow across the strings, as if she derived enjoyment from playing all the right notes. As she suddenly began to reminisce, she stopped playing for a moment. I forgot all about that, Misaki's smile seemed to be saying. I could feel the strength of her feelings being conveyed in every note she played. Maybe you're doing well right now because you're enjoying yourself. What if it's because she's in love, guys? What do you think? Her mood and motivation manifested themselves in a good way through the music. On the other hand, I could also hear hints of irritation and impatience. So in short... Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it, Crow. Yeah, I think love can do a lot of great things for you. It can really improve your mood. It's better than any drug, guys. Indeed, she was expressing it quite well. Now that you mention it, I guess so. We're having two conversations. I was just thinking about how you got your groove back like that, so to speak. It's Misaki's new groove. Since she obviously couldn't hear Crow talking, I had to play that down. I guess it's like you're overly self-aware and it seems like you're trying to make the reason for playing more important than it is. So instead of trying to play it well, why don't you just try to express how you feel in that moment? Our gazes suddenly met. I felt the blood starting to rush to my cheeks. I see. I guess my advice was worth it, huh? Well, good. I'm glad to hear that. You're welcome. I accidentally caught a glimpse of Misaki's cuteness. I'm not a slave to love or anything, I just felt kindness from her and it made me fall for her even more. I really need to make sure I don't get carried away during the date. I don't know, Ray. I think you just need to admit that you're addicted to love. It's okay. You like the feeling. It's good. So, anywhere you want to go to? I can't think of anything I could choose. If I can't think of anything I could choose. If you can't think of anything I could choose. I went through the line, but I didn't really process it yet. It seemed rather difficult to match up with what Misaki liked, but I didn't think of it as a bother. I want to practice how not I have to. Okay, then how's my house sound? I figured it would help me if she had other spectators besides me after all. What? Ray is a very respectable guy. He could do a lot more perverted stuff, especially with that watch of his, but he doesn't, okay? He's a pretty respectable guy as far as visual novel protagonists go. Wasn't thinking about that at all, but after she pointed it out, I ended up becoming conscious of it. He's like, He's thinking about it a little too much. I won't. Michiru plus DD are here too. After all, we'll just be hanging out as friends. So I was thinking, maybe when you come over, you could bring your violin along so you can perform. Yeah, I was thinking about getting feedback from other people than me is important. Plus, Michiru has first-hand experience, well, sort of. Yeah, I think this is a good idea. You sure? Even if I did invite you, would you rather tell her that yourself? I mean, yeah, to be fair, this isn't a secret she's gonna be able to keep for too long. Alright, that should be okay. By the way, I also told the two of them about my confession and how I'm still waiting for an answer from you. I like how it ends there. Like, she doesn't even respond to that. Interesting. Oh, okay, now we're getting it. She was prying? Sorry about that. Don't worry so much. I can leave that up to you. I don't know, is that something that's common in Japan? Like, if you're, like, dating someone's, like, sibling, that the other siblings have to give permission? Or, like, give blessings? I usually thought of that as something that happens in marriage, not really dating. You have to knock him dead at the contest so she can do that for real. I gotta say, I'm pretty excited myself. Sending off my last text to her, I couldn't help but crack a smile. I also felt a little anxiety about inviting the girl I like over to my place. I'll just have to give her a proper welcome so she'll feel right at home. What? This is a little too close here, Michiru. I have never seen a visual novel do that, where it's so close. I was just like, whoa, what are you doing? Oh my gosh. Oh, that was great. It like both scared me and made me want to laugh. It was the weirdest feeling. Sorry, hey wait, quiet. You just tried to solid snake your way in here so I wouldn't notice, didn't you? Snake! Snake! Oh, you're right, sorry. She giggled, but I was suspicious of how envious she might have actually been. Michiru definitely wasn't the type of person to pull malicious, harmful tricks on anyone, but I had a hunch she would try to express her affections toward me even more directly than usual as a result. You know, Michiru, I don't intend to neglect you or anything. Oh, yeah, who am I kidding? This guy is neglecting you so much. Imagine coming home later than usual. Absolutely terrible, brother. Misaki asked me for some advice. More or less, by the way, Michiru, on Saturday... So anyways, sadly not, Misaki's coming over to hang out. Yes. Unfortunately, that's not it either. I asked her about that, but she declined. Okay, you may not say it's a date. It's a date, okay? It's more about a problem she's having. I want you to be around. No. Michiru, ever the perceptive girl, she could clue into the atmosphere even if I kept a poker face. Is it really about that? I don't think it's about that. I thought it was more to do with her violin. Which I guess kind of relates to why she didn't accept his confession. So, I mean, I guess you could look at it that way, but I didn't personally see it that way. I don't know. Apparently they did. Sorry, but I can't tell you anything myself. Oh, don't worry. I'm sure you will. Oh, I'm sure you have. Yep. I had a feeling that her anticipation and mine had different motives behind them. Just get along with her, okay? I don't know. Michiru always like seems like she has like some kind of mischievous plans going on. She says stuff like this, which is like, great, okay, you know, maybe she will be you know, your sister-in-law, but then I don't know, she always has like these ulterior motives going on. Never can tell how she really feels. What are you trying to say here? Do not finish that sentence. She pouted her lips in discontent. This was like some kind of wife and sister-in-law relationship that escalated quickly. But still, the kind of future doesn't sound bad. I like how my guy Ray is like, yep, I'm trying to wife her up right now. Okay, let's do it. Kind of not of age yet. I mean, you got... What is she? Probably like 14, 15? 18? I'm sorry, guys. I was totally wrong. She's obviously 18, of course. If you look at the intro to any of these visual novel games, it says all the characters depicted are at least of 18 years of age. Of course she's 18. Yeah, this totally looks like an 18-year-old to me. Good morning, Ray. Did I keep you waiting? No. I mean, this is literally my house. Even if I was waiting, I got things to do here, you know? This is probably the place I feel most comfortable. Warning, Misaki, you're still pretty early, so no worries. I wouldn't have been waiting for more than 5 minutes at any rate. But guys, can we talk about this outfit? This is good. I like it. This freaking makes her chest look huge, though. Like, look at that. Misaki's bashful smile seemed to wield even more destructive power without her being in uniform. The thought of the girl I liked coming over to hang out at my place made me feel strangely anxious. But it seemed the feeling was mutual. Misaki was nervously fidgeting with the handle of her violin case, and then glancing behind me, her expression froze in place. Oh no, Didi, where did you come from? Didi, actually, I need you to run the store, okay? I need you to run the store. It's actually this really rare store. It's in the middle of the ocean. Yeah, I know, hard to believe. But I need you to go there right now. Yes, and stop making my guests feel uncomfortable, okay? I know. This is really weird to me. You know what I never thought about? Didi is a maid, and I absolutely love maids, and I just don't like Didi. I think Hishia is a better maid in every single possible way. Not what you're thinking of Didi. Just came up with that on her own. Also, Didi, try not to tease Misaki. That's my prerogative. She starts agreeing with me at first. Oh yeah, oh yeah? And as Misaki turned even redder, I had a bit of an urge to tease her a little bit more, but for now, it was best to put that aside. Didi, if you wouldn't mind, we should let her in now. I will say Didi's funny. Like, I do want to laugh at her, but at the same time, I don't want to show that like I do like her in some way. Didi gave her a quite formal bow. Misaki seemed visibly relieved, having evidently realized she wasn't being made out for a fool. Well, even in a Western-styled home, it's not an ordinary thing. Besides, Dee Dee wasn't really doing this maid stuff as a job, more like as a hobby. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it, I suppose. She's not really good enough to be a professional maid or anything. All the same, even if it was just a hobby, she went as far as to offer to carry her belongings and gave her a proper welcoming. Maybe she's just more excited than usual because Misaki's here.
あら、美咲さん、いらっしゃいませ。おはよう、みちる。今日はよろしくね。それは家族として、技師としてよろしくということでしょうか。
Misaki, just ignore her. She didn't say anything.
まだ交際しているわけでもないのですから、いささか気が早いのではありませんか？
There's no reason to be calling the first girl I go on a date with and start dating, which we're not even actually dating yet. There's no reason to start calling her your sister-in-law. You're going a little too far with this, Michiru.
そうでしたね。美咲さんは兄様の告白をお断りされたようですし。
Telling you guys, she is evil. She's just playing with her, but not in the way that I am.
これが噂の勘違いしないでよねというツンデレですか。
And then there's Dee Dee over here. This is the behavior that's tsundere in its natural habitat. What do you mean? Dee Dee is probably the only one who's accurately understanding you right now.
私は勘違いなどしておりませんよ。いわゆるキープというものですね。さすがは殿方に人気の美咲さん。一味違うということですか。何言ってるのよ。ああ、兄様は都合のいい男にされてしまったのですね。おいたわしい限りです。これは私が体を使って
Oh my gosh.
共に慰めて差し上げなければなりませんね。
Oh, I can't with Michiru sometimes, guys. I really can't. She's just constantly trying to shoehorn in a way to get with her brother.
何をするつもりなのよ。美咲さんは何をしたらいいと思いますか？何もしなくていいの。変なこと言わせようとしないでよ。
Oh my gosh. I'm getting a headache, and it's not even from Dee Dee this time. Dee Dee is usually the one that makes my head just go like that. Now it's just been Michiru. Even when Misaki's being teased, she's just too darn cute. Not to mention Michiru is pretty lively today too. It was really a good idea to invite her over. Guess I'll just have to snap a picture of this on my phone. I'm just imagining him just going,
今日はその事情を説明していただけるのでしょうか。それを含めてよ。そうですか。ではここで立ち話もなんですし、部屋の中で聞きましょうか。
Alright, yes, guys, let's do that. That sounds like a great idea.
お邪魔します。ご案内いたします。
Alright, you do that, Dee Dee. It's just to my room, though. We don't need a whole entourage to find it.
男の人の部屋って初めて入ったかも。私はいつも自由に出入りしていますが。
Yes, that is actually the most truthful thing you've said so far in this entire conversation we've been having. Why would you be jealous of his sister? I don't know, maybe that's just me, I think that's weird. Like, who cares? Come on, Michiru is just my sister, you don't need to compete with her over stuff like that. Thank you, Ray. I'm not the only one who's like, yeah, that's not a big deal. Still, even if she is just my sister, I seriously wish she'd stop coming in and out of a boy's room as she damn well pleases. She's my sister that wants to be more than my sister. Yeah, we let her go to the States one time, and the one state that she went to Alabama. Worst mistake of our lives. You know, she learned way too much about their culture there. Yeah, she just started saying roll tide all the time and started coming on to me, and it was a bad time. And now she wants a lifted truck. That's kind of weird. And she wants a pet alligator. Don't know about that one. That was a strange request. Anyways. Feels much colder than that to me, though. While Misaki and Michiru were quibbling, Didi had evidently finished preparing the tea. Well, thank you, Didi. That's actually very kind of you. The pleasant aroma of the tea was a depth soothing my soul. Gosh, everyone's so formal. While Michiru accepted her portion naturally as ever, Misaki seemed quite nervous as she did the same. I love the blank stare on her face. Stare. Yeah, you're just staring at our guest and saying stare out loud. Nothing weird about that. Yes? I don't mind. After all, since you prepared 4 cups, you must have been expecting to join us. Besides, I never intended to exclude Didi from our gathering in the first place. I mean, I wouldn't mind, but... What? It's bad enough you say that you're my ex-fiance. Okay, that's not good. Not a conversation starter I want to have. But then you follow it up with Natura Tiddly. I heard about it. What? What does that even mean? Misaki seemed to have a slight reaction to the ex bit, but she didn't press the issue. Thank goodness. Seeing Didi's demeanor, she probably had her reasons. Yes, thank you. Can we get on with the actual point of this conversation? Misaki heaved a sigh of relief after explaining the whole situation. Wow, okay. Both a reasonable explanation of what was going on, and both... Well, on the other hand, there was a reasonable acceptance of what was going on and understanding. You know, that was a fine answer. I know I'm fine with it. How about Misaki? Okay, cool. That was actually like a little nice conversation. Cool. Lost myself in Misaki's gentle smile. Why did the moment have to get ruined? It was so great. Just as she said, Misaki started to set everything up for her performance, as if she was trying to clear the emotions of the moment from her mind. She certainly was taking this seriously, though she'd undoubtedly gone through these motions countless times by
兄様
now.
が言っていた悩みの相談というのはこれだったのですね。
Yeah, you learned to play when you were young too,
か
right?
じった程度でよろしければ。と言っても美咲さんの方が経歴は長いと思いますが。
期間と腕が正比例するわけじゃないでしょ。少なくとも私の場合はね、先輩からもみちるはバイオリンが上手だって聞いてるわ。
兄様が褒めてくださっていたなんて。何事も習ってみるものですね。
I am what I am, and I do what I can.
それで演奏を聞いてもらってみちるからも感想を言ってもらいたいんだけど。
I'm actually looking forward to Michiru's route just a little bit for that reason, because it's going to be interesting seeing him like kind of building a relationship with her and how flustered she gets about things. Do I think her affection towards her brother is weird still? Yes, but I think that she does have a lot of genuine feelings for him and like genuinely looks up to him as if he's a very important person in her life. So I mean, I do respect that, of course.
それくらいの協力はさせていただきます。課題曲は？
それならいくつかあるんだけど。
They started to talk about various technical elements of performing. It did cut me some slack since I couldn't give advice on the subject, and I also felt a little lonely about not being able to join in.
それじゃあみちるは本当にずっと弾いてないんだ。
興味が持てませんからね。兄様からお願いされたのなら別ですが。
Ah, yes, we have to mention that, of course.
そうなんだ。
小さい時に使っていたバイオリンでしたら蔵のどこかに眠っているかもしれませんが。
それってキッズサイズでしょ。さすがにサイズが小さいって。
できないことはないでしょうが、今日は諦めましょう。
それがいいわね。男装にはちょっと興味あったけど。男装ですか？
And then there's Dee Dee. She doesn't know what that kind of drag. Doesn't mean that kind of drag, Dee Dee. Well, when I think of drag, I think of a few things. I mean, there's a lot. I mean, when you're talking about smoking or taking a drag, I remember hearing that. And there's a lot of different drags. I mean, I would like to hear you both play myself. It's kind of a shame I can't hear Michiru play.
私も聞きたいかな。みちるの演奏は先輩がすっごく褒めてたから。私もお嬢様のすごいところ見たいです。
そこまで期待されてしまったら私も弾くしかありませんね。美咲さんのバイオリンを貸していただけますか？
私の？いいけど子供用のしか使ったことないのよね。
ええ。ですが以前に見たことがありますから。
Gosh, that'd be weird to have to like recall memories to know what something looks like because you can't see anything anymore. I just couldn't imagine that. Like, that would be hard. Feeling around for the correct positioning, Michiru corrected her playing stance as if it was natural to her. She placed her fingers on the strings in order, starting from the left-hand pinky, and verified the pitch by playing a single note on the G string. In other words, the So note. After adjusting the knobs atop the instrument a few times, evidently they were called pegs, she nodded to herself in satisfaction.
では僭越ながら演奏させていただきますね。
After giving us a slight bow, she shifted once again to playing stance. And the world changed in an instant. Just the first measure of the melody Michiru played captured my heart in mere seconds. Her feelings overflowed from each note she played. It stirred my heart. Even with my plebeian knowledge of music, I could definitely discern how much the music was moving me. Every vibration of the strings allowed Michiru's sentiments to overflow all the more. I couldn't take my eyes off her. Memories of a younger Michiru also flashed in my mind. Her performance made her look like a sublime painting come to life. Oh, they're not even going to show it! What? I thought there was at least going to be a CG to accompany that. I feel like that would have been fair. Disappointment. It's only after she said that and took a bow when I finally realized her performance had ended. Even the gesture of hers was so refined as if it were part of the performance as well. Ah, how I was still lost in a comforting weightless sensation from the performance, not yet fully conscious of reality. That was amazing, really, really amazing. Oh, I bet Misaki's gonna get jealous here, because he's like, oh yeah, that was really, really amazing, you know? That's like a bigger compliment than he ever gave to Misaki. It's quite a relief to know I can play this well.
私が演奏に込めた気持ちも届いたようで安心しました。
Seeing her humble smile made me realize I was correct in imagining a pleasant scene. And I felt quite happy about correctly assuming she was conveying her emotions through her performance as well. Well, felt kind of sad that it had to end. I wanted to hear more of it.
とっても素敵で感動しました。おまけにのろけられた気分で、お胸がとってもシュガー&スイートです。
Sweet です。
ありがとうございます。兄様、DD さん。
I wanted to say you're welcome, but I couldn't smile in this situation. If another guy saw her performing like that, it'd be love at first sight, wouldn't it?
美咲さんもありがとうございました。
Michiru returned the violin to Misaki with a bashful smile on her face. Oh no, I knew it. I knew this wasn't gonna go good. And that Misaki, who had been frozen on the spot from hearing the performance, finally snapped out of her trance. She awkwardly took the violin from Michiru's grasp and hugged it closely to her chest. She looked like a child who lost and then found her favorite toy.
お疲れ様。すごかったね。
I don't know. The look on her face said to me, wow, you're way better than me, and you haven't even practiced as much. Like, you haven't played this in such a long time, and you're already better than me.
美咲さんに褒めていただけて
I'm
幸
wondering
い
if
で
that's
す
the。case. That's kind of the look she was giving.
うん。驚いたかな。数年ぶりに演奏してこれとかね。
I think I was right. Her smile seemed rather forced as she spoke, and she seemed rather emotionally detached. With the knowledge of Misaki's own inner turmoil, I knew she was behaving this way. I knew why she was behaving this way and how she felt right now, in spite of all the effort she put into it. In spite of doing her best to stay positive despite being disheartened. In spite of continuing to work hard to improve herself out of her love for this pastime. She felt as though a greater talent in her had bested her before her very eyes without even breaking a sweat. Life just isn't fair.
お次は美咲様のターンですね。その前に少し休憩してもいいかな。おう、決勝直しの時間ですね。
Okay. Sure,
決
Dee
勝
Dee.
なんてしてないけどね。
As Misaki smiled anxiously, Michiru also seemed to clue into something going awry. Not to mention Dee Dee as well, she kept glancing back and forth between me and Misaki.
DD さん、もう少し婉曲的な表現を心がけましょうね。
You too, Michiru. You've been way too direct with me lately, so just try to watch
あら、
yourself.
これでも十二分に心がけておりますよ。
Then I'd hate to see her not giving them careful consideration. That conversation carried on, managing to dispel the awkward mood. Now that Misaki, do you know where the restroom is? I can guide you there.
おやおや、ご主人様と美咲様がご一緒にですか。
No.
兄様、私も一緒に中へ。
No. Like hell you will. Let's go, Misaki. You partisan? We're playing politics now, boys. Cutting Michiru off, I took Misaki's hand and left the room. Probably meant well, but they were kind of pushing their luck. Incidentally, this may seem obvious now, but we hadn't left the room to go wash our hands.
こんな庭があるとか、とんでもないわね。
Kind of late for that comment,
お
though.
嬢様なんだなって思ったついでよ。
Misaki heaved an exhausted sigh after saying that. She was certainly down on her luck, but wasn't really depressed either. Her gaze absentmindedly moved from the garden, then to her feet, and finally to the sky. Maybe she just couldn't decide where to look. I don't know, I feel like a part of her identity as being a good violinist just kind of got shattered. She's like, wow, if someone who hasn't played in years can already play better than me, I mean, what hope is there, right? Like, she's already kind of mentioned to us that she's been trying really hard and putting a lot of effort in, and it seems like no matter how much effort she puts in, she's not really where she wants to be.
みちるはずるいよね。
Kind of the big question last episode.
ずっと弾いてなかったのに、あんなに上手なんて。
It certainly was difficult to respond to that. I just returned a resigned gaze of my own to Misaki. And then just as she had done, I turned my gaze to the sky.
あのお嬢様は何でもこなせるのってずるいでしょ。何をやっても人並み以上にこなせるのとかもどんな才能なのよ。
I wonder what that is. I feel like a lot of rich kids do end up being really talented. I wonder if that's like just an inherited thing, Or maybe it comes from the comfort of knowing, like, you have money and you don't have to worry about that, so you can focus on other things and just kind of expand those things that maybe a kid who's not as well off would have to kind of forgo, because maybe they would have other responsibilities. I'm not sure what exactly the reasoning behind that would be. She doesn't have the motivation to do more, though. I suppose you're right. I feel like motivation is a very powerful thing, though. I think you can do a lot with it. As far as talent goes, I do think some people pick up on things faster than others. I think that's just kind of something innate to them. Well, I think you're pretty amazing yourself. I couldn't put that much effort into something on my own. I think being able to do your best is a talent in itself. Besides, sustaining your passion for something can be hard to do. Just being able to keep up with your goal, that's all amazing. Oh, okay. I'm serious, so I'm proud of Michiru, but I also admire those traits in you. That was, after all, why I ended up falling for Misaki in the first place. I was wondering if she's still going to be depressed after that, or if she's kind of like hiding how she truly feels. I don't know. Misaki nodded contentedly, without a hint of defeat in her expression. Even if I hadn't spurred her on, she'd always been strong enough to get back on her own 2 feet. I see, you really are amazing. I don't think that's true in the slightest. I sat down beside her and took her hand. Her hand was trembling, but it didn't seem to be out of frustration. Misaki had gone back to how she always was, as she seemed even more attractive than before as well. Misaki's palm pressed against mine and our fingers intertwined. So white and so soft, yet her fingertips were noticeably hard due to all that practicing. And I think that's exactly the reason you should do something. You don't necessarily have to be good at it. I mean, that's fine too. But do it because you love it. I mean, I feel like I can relate to this too. I mean, I'm not really good at instruments or anything like that. I feel like my passion kind of growing up was YouTube, and I feel like that maybe a lot of kids share that sentiment as well. I've always liked doing this. I've always liked getting in front of a... Well, I didn't used to get in front of a camera, but now I've learned to like that. I like being able to kind of talk directly to you guys. I feel like that's an added bonus of it. But I've always liked kind of just commentating and talking about the game that I'm playing. I was never good at it. I'm not really someone who's naturally talented at games. I feel like that's kind of why I gravitate more towards visual novels, where I can just kind of talk more about what's going on and give my opinions, because I feel like there is a lot of opinions out there on stuff, but there's always different interpretations of it, and I feel like I do have something to bring as far as my reaction and my thoughts on things. I feel like I am unique in that sense, and that's about all I am unique in, and so I need to really express that, and I feel like visual novels are the perfect medium for me to do so, where it's just more like thinking and talking and maybe theorizing about what's going on, versus a game where I'm showing off skills or like how good I am at it. I'm not really necessarily that good at video games, and I haven't really been good at any type of video game for a long time. I feel like the only one I was pretty good at when I was younger is maybe like Call of Duty, where there was probably a lot of kids who were good at Call of Duty. So I don't feel like I was special in that regard. But yeah, I mean, I like doing YouTube. It's something I've gotten better at. I feel like the more I've done it, and hopefully you guys have seen that. I don't know if I have anybody who's been watching me for a long time. Probably Hello Lady was maybe some of my oldest viewers have been watching me since, but I feel like I've improved even since then. There's no doubt you'll get better at it.
ありがとう、先輩。
I didn't have any proof of that statement to offer, but it made her smile all the same.
先輩のおかげで元気が出たわ。
I'm happy I can help you
い
out.
つもなってるわよ。先輩がいなかったら。
You didn't have me, then what? Turning the question back on her, I could see the nape of her neck going scarlet, but instead of blowing up at me, she turned to look me dead in the eyes.
そこまで頑張ろうって思えたのは先輩のおかげだから。ありがとう。
Though her voice wavered somewhat near the end of that statement, she still conveyed her feelings to me quite clearly. You're welcome. But if you mean to say you're giving your all your effort just for my sake.
そこまでは言ってないわよ。先輩のためにもって話。そうしないと先輩と。
Be able to what? Misaki, her ears bright red, seemed to completely freeze up at my parrying remark. Given that reaction, I had a pretty good idea of what she wanted to say. It had been her goal from the very beginning to get some kind of good result from the contest. Ergo, she may have been referring to her response to my confession.
ちょっと人の顔見て変な笑い方しないでよ。
You were wearing quite a smirk yourself, though I won't deny it was pretty cute.
余計なこと言わないで。ミチルたちに聞かれたらどうするのよ。
I mean, it's clear that he likes you, so I mean, it wouldn't be strange for him to say something like that. As you wish, I'll say it somewhere else next time.
そういう問題じゃないの。
Misaki started wailing on my chest with her fist, though her blows were incredibly weak and ineffectual. Still, even this little bout of physical affection was something I felt grateful for. And just to be sure, I grabbed her hands as if I were trying to pacify a child. And to make her completely stop, I intertwined her fingers with mine. Misaki, don't do that. You really want to injure your fingers now, would you?
分かってるわよ。
Gosh, this is so romantic. I absolutely love it. This was such a great moment. Then why'd you do it in the first place? Did you want to hold hands with me that badly?
そんなつもりなかったけど、嫌じゃないから。
Misaki, shut up. Just say you want to hold hands, okay? Don't go around it like that. Freaking tsunderes, man. They never want to admit how they really feel up front. Oh, hell yeah. Party time. Excellent. I'm so happy I could break out into a stupid grin right here and now. I can't let Misaki see me like that. I was just trying to tease her and she answered me directly. No fair, but not like I'm complaining anyways.
ほら、早く戻って練習するわよ。
Roger, Wilco. Gosh, I haven't heard that saying in a while. We left the garden with Misaki pulling on my hand. I felt like a dog being pulled on a leash, but that sentiment was best kept to myself. You kinky man. The moment we got back to the room, Misaki took her violin and started to play. Her composure was perfectly calm, without any hint of all the adieu from earlier. The rhythm of her performance seemed to match Michiru's performance quite closely. It's rather difficult to compare both their performances, and yet, were you to ask which performance we liked the most, all four of us would have agreed it was Michiru's. Misaki herself was aware of that too, and so as a result of that...
アドバイスをしてほしいの。
私は学んだ期間が短いですし、技術的なアドバイスはできませんよ。
そういうのじゃないの。ミチルは私が持ってないものを持ってる気がするから。練習量とかじゃない何かがあると思うの。
それで私よりも上達するためのアドバイスを私にしろと。
うん。ミチルよりも上達したいと思ってる。
本気？いえ、正気ですか？
What, are you saying she can't do it?
どうしてそこで言い換えるのよ。
その方が適切かと思いまして。
Taking a sip of tea to quench her thirst, Michiru breathed a gloomy
ま
sigh.
ず問題が一つ。私がうまく教えられるかわかりませんね。次に心情的な話ですが、ライバルに手を貸すという。
Okay, we've heard enough.
ライバル？
Both of us were baffled at that statement, and naturally Misaki's eyes were wide with surprise as well.
何の話？
Y'all know what she's talking about, just ignore her.
だから私もコンクールに参加するんです。
Oh, really? Are you now? Hey, I sure as hell didn't get that
まだ
memo.
腕が錆びついていないことが分かりましたし、ついさっき決めました。
You just know that they were trying to imply that she's like, oh, we're competing for my brother's love, and then she switched it to that. Clever. Michiru giggled. My little sister, everybody, she really does live life on the spurs of her every slightest whim.
本当にみちるもコンクールに出場するの？
ええ、そうです。そして勝った方が兄様と結ばれます。
Alright guys, let's pause right here real quick. Do y'all think that maybe she's actually doing this out of the goodness of her heart? And let me explain what I mean by that. I'm actually gonna play devil's advocate here and side with Michiru for a second. And say that maybe she's doing this as motivation to bring out the best in Misaki. Maybe Misaki is lacking something. She's lacking that I mean, she has the drive, right, to want to improve and be better, but maybe she needs something that really pushes her over the edge, you know? We're talking about, like, Goku going beyond your limits. We're talking about going next level, right? Maybe this is what will bring it out in her. Now that there's, like, this kind of, I don't know, this reward, you could say, for winning, right? It's not just about winning. It's about being with Rei. So I wonder if she's doing this on purpose to push Misaki past her limits, to prove even more, to really bring out the best in her. I'm actually gonna think that Michiru's maybe doing a good thing here. So, surprisingly enough.
どうしてそうなるのよ。
美咲さんが私に勝つとおっしゃいましたし、それはつまり対決の場が必要ですよね。それとも本気ではなかったのですか？
She held her teacup in one hand with a sinister grin. My little sister can't be this onerous. Is that a reference to something? My little sister can't be this cute.
それは
Freaking Oriemo. I never finished that show. I had a friend who was really into it, but I just couldn't do it.
もっとも勝負に乗らないような臆病者に兄様を託すつもりはありませんが。
And the reason kind of why I think Michiru has a stake in helping her brother is because she genuinely does care about him that much. Now, does she want to be the one to be with him? Oh yeah, of course. But I think she realizes how serious Rei is about Misaki by this point. And I don't know. I think she's genuinely trying to help her become her best self so that they'll be able to come together and it'll be much better. They'll both be seeing the best in each other. Even though her previous use of the word rival seemed to be in jest, I could tell that Michiru was deadly serious about this.
そうね。先輩との関係がなくても最初から優勝するつもりだったんだから。受けてあげる。みちるに友達に不道徳な行為をさせないためにもね。
叶うといいですね。
叶えるわ。先輩が私を応援してくれてるんだから。
そうですか。
She put the cup down on the saucer with a clink, and then silence. The mood had gotten quite heavy. Seeing both of them breaking out into faint smiles, the tension there was so thick you could cut it with a knife.
まさかこの目でシュラーバが見られるとは。手に汗握ります。
I mean, to be fair, let's look at Misaki real quick. She's got her fist up. She's ready to fight. She's like, okay, let's bring it. Let's go. How do you think I feel? Before I knew what appeared to be a serious showdown, it turned out to be a battle for my affections. How weird is that? I thought this was supposed to be a mutual exchange of skills and strengthening of bonds between
票が
friends.
乗りました。
Yeah, that doesn't happen around here. Michiru smiled. I recalled hearing somewhere before that smiling was an apt method of
コン
intimidation.
クール自体にはみじんも興味ありませんが、やはり今回ばかりは真剣になりましょう。
そうしてくれると嬉しいわ。私もきちんとした舞台の上で勝ちたいからね。
にもかかわらず、美咲さんは私のアドバイスを受けるつもりですか？
みちるが構わないならね。上達できる可能性があるのなら、私はどんな努力だってしてみせるわ。応援してくれる先輩のためにも、私は全力を尽くすの。
Oops, sorry. Just totally cut off her line. I didn't mean to do that. At least she spoke her mind without a hint of hesitation or ambiguity. Is that... I know how to pronounce this word, guys. I'm struggling. Ambiguity left me mesmerized. Who would have thought I'd end up falling in love with a girl as awesome as
なる
this?
ほど。
だからよろしくね。
仕方ありませんね。
Misaki and Michiru smiled in agreement. Just like that, the heavy mood from earlier was dispelled. In its place remained a moderate amount of tension, the kind felt before a major battle.
これが噂のスポコンですね、ご主人様。
Yeah. Looks like everything worked out in the end. I guess that's to be expected from friends like these. It's kind of rare to see these two girls get so worked up over something like this, though. I don't know. I'm glad that they're like... It's kind of like a friendly rivalship. I don't know. At least that's kind of the vibe I'm getting from it. And like I said, I do think Michiru is actually coming from this from a perspective of helping out Misaki, ergo helping out her brother. Because, I mean, ultimately, I think she cares about her brother the most. We'll see. With the fiery mood from earlier having cooled down to a more moderate level, it was now time for Michiru to begin mentoring her grasshopper.
さて、上達の方法とは言いましたが、技術的な面において指摘する部分はございません。美咲さんは熱心に練習されていたようですし、減点できる箇所もありませんでした。
それ先輩にも言われたかも。
あら、兄様とお揃いですか。
そこで喜ばないで、話がそれちゃうでしょ。
そうですね。喜ぶのは話が終わった後にするとしましょう。話を戻しますが、技術で問題がないのなら、あとは感情の面でしょうね。
気持ちを込めてってこと？
分かっているのなら悩む必要はありませんね。
そう簡単にいかないわよ。
Michiru returned an earnestly confused gaze at Misaki's words of concern. The average person's suffering is incomprehensible to a genius. In other words, Michiru couldn't understand why Misaki couldn't understand. So you know what the problem is, you just don't know the solution to it.
そういうことよ。できればそのあたり詳しく教えてほしいんだけど。
So you want Michiru to tell you about how exactly she tries to express her feelings through her performance.
その方がわかりやすいかな。
理解しました。
As we agreed with each other, Michiru made no effort to hide her annoyance. I wonder where that smug look of hers
兄
went.
様と美咲さんの息が合っているのは少々どころではなく気に入りませんが。
Something he's
そんなこ
jealous.
と私に言われても知らないわよ。
Okay. At Misaki's triumph smirk, Michiru continued as if she were averse to her being smug
気
about
持
that.
ちを込めていても上手に弾こうという意識だったのではありませんか。あるいは曲に込められた意図通りに演奏していませんでしたか。
みちるは違うってことよね。
そうですね。強いて言えば私の場合は考えたこともありませんでした。
I think that is probably one thing about her being kind of blind, is that you wouldn't be like noticing everyone watching you. I feel like it would probably help with your self-confidence a bit. You're not constantly worried about what you look like, because you just don't know. Yeah, I mean, you can't know, so why worry about it?
何も考えてないの？
Kind of out of sight, out of mind type thing. You haven't thought of anything at all.
私はただ兄様に向けて演奏しようと心がけているだけです。
Yeah, and if she's doing that, she can just go all out.
曲に込められた嬉しさも悲しさも喜びもすべては兄様との思い出から溢れたものですから。
Yeah, and I think music that both the musician and the person listening to, if you both connect to it emotionally, I think it's much more powerful that way.
私のこれまでを作ってくださった兄様へ演奏を通じて思いを届けているのです。
If I have to think about somebody who does a great job at emotionally connecting you with their music, I would have to say probably key animation. Whoever they get to do all their music pieces does a phenomenal job. Like you listen to like Clanad, you listen to Canon, Air, all of those have like these really powerful emotional soundtracks to them. I think that's really what you need to channel in when you're trying to get the audience to really feel what you're feeling. You have to get something that's like powerful and moving like that. And I think you can do it with other music that maybe is not in that kind of same genre or vibe, but you really have to put a lot of emotion into it. There has to be some kind of build up with it. As Misaki stared slack-jawed at Michiru while she spoke, her expression gradually became more serious.
言うなれば演奏を介して兄様との思い出話をしているわけです。
I guess that's why I got a nostalgic feeling from it. I had a feeling that piece sounded familiar.
私はお嬢様の演奏を聞いてるとご主人様ラブなのが伝わってきました。
So Mistress's love for Master through her performance.
そんな風に言われると恥ずかしいですね。
I certainly wasn't getting any embarrassed vibes from her, though. Though in Misaki's case.
みちるの言う通りね。前にも先輩に指摘されてたのにうっかりしてたわ。間違えずに上手に弾こうっていうのは通り過ぎたはずなのに。
Maybe the thought of playing in front of other people made you
そ
nervous.
れはあるかも。こっちは純粋に練習不足ね。
Misaki drooped her shoulders in dejection, though this time she didn't seem nearly as downcast about it. As though it had just been a silly little mistake.
さすが兄様ですね。音楽にも造形が深いとは思いませんでした。
Not really, I guess I just had a hunch about it. Like, even when I knew that what the problem she was having, I couldn't find a solution myself. If anything, you're the well-read one here.
兄様から褒めていただけるなんて、久しぶりにバイオリンを弾いてみた甲斐がありましたね。
やっぱりみちるは何でも先輩のためなのね。
当然です。
Yeah, I was gonna say, just that's what her response was gonna be, is of course.
言い切ったわね。って普段なら呆れるところなんだけど、今回はためになったわ。ありがとう、みちる。
どういたしまして。それで早速練習をするのですか？
もちろん。
Yes, ah. Oh my gosh, I'm having a hard time already. Misaki smiled in response to Michiru and took her up her playing stance once again.
のために。
Taking several deep breaths, the atmosphere around Misaki seemed to change. Michiru must have noticed a change herself as she turned in Misaki's direction. Okay, I'm here for it. We're gonna get a CG? Yeah? No, we aren't. They're black screening me. Then as the three of us looked on, Misaki resumed her performance, but...
やはり美咲さんは感情が未熟なようですね。
私のどこが子供だっていうのよ。
a lot of things.
その言動が物語っているではありませんか。そもそも自分に正直になれない人間が気持ちを込めるなど不可能です。
それはいろいろ理由があるのよ。
理由で抑えられるほどの思いというのも足りませんね。不十分です。私の兄様への思いなんて演奏に込めても溢れるほどだというのに。
あんたももっと
Sorry
自
guys,
重しな
if
さ
you
いよ。
notice me rolling my
勇
eyes.
者先輩に抱きつくな。
兄弟のスキンシップです。
Sure got lively in here quick. Oh boy.
美咲さんは兄様と付き合っているわけでもないのに兄弟のことに口を出すおつもりですか？
付き合ってなくても人前でそういうことしたらダメなのよ。
あら、好きな相手とはどこでもつながっていたいとは思いませんか？
どこでもバカなこと言わないでよ。人前でする趣味なんてないわよ。
人前でできない程度なのですか？
先輩以外の人に裸を見せたくないからよ。
What? Nobody mentioned that, Misaki. Nobody.
あらあら、裸とは何のことですか？私は精神的なつながりを述べただけですよ。にもかかわらず。
Okay, okay. To be fair, Misaki, you walked into that one. That was your own fault right there.
今のはそういう意味じゃないからね。
I wasn't interpreting it that way anyways, it's cool. It was plainly obvious that Michiru was teasing Misaki and that Misaki was totally falling for it, hook, line, and
ツンデ
sinker.
レは様式美ですよね。
I love how Dee Dee is just the comedic side character. I mean, that's what she's been pretty much since the start, but I'm gonna play her route next, so I'm curious to see how they're gonna try and transition that from just comedic to actually, like, being a love interest. I feel like the scales are pretty badly tipped for Misaki, though. If anything, I might just be starting to miss that student side of
し
her.
かし美咲さんがその調子では万が一にも私が負けることはなさそうですね。美咲さんは本当に優勝できると思っているのですか？
そのために練習してるのよ。
Misaki couldn't reply to Michiru's provocation, so she chose just to brush
そ
them
こ
off.
は優勝できる、してみせると言い切ってください。まったく先ほどの短歌はどこへ消えたのでしょうか。
してみせるわよ。
A smirk of approval floated to Michiru's
その
face.
ためにはもっと気持ちを育てるべきでしょうね。差し当たって上手に弾くことは意識から外しておきましょう。結果的にそう聞こえるだけだと思いますし。
Yeah, I think a certain man said it best. You know, his name was Shia LaBeouf. Just do it. Just do it. Don't think about it. I've had to do that with recording too. Like sometimes I overthink things or I overthink what I'm gonna say. I'm just do it. Just say it. You know, with reservations, of course. Don't just say anything, but you know, you just gotta say what comes to mind.
他
And
のことに意識を向けすぎると聞き間違えない？
美咲さんは間違えるのですか？
了解。そこも練習しろってことね。
for a person with talent, a hurdle like this seemed easy to overcome. I guess Misaki wouldn't end up besting me talent-wise in that respect.
ああ、それともう一つ、美咲さんは自分の欲求に対してもっと素直になった方がいいと思いますよ。
I mean, I think that's solid advice. Like, okay, let's put Misaki aside for a second. That's just solid advice. Be honest with yourself. If you like something, don't pretend you don't. Even if it's something kind of embarrassing, you know? Like if you're like, oh, I like a certain type of show, but all my friends trash on that show, you know? Like, feel free to like that show. I mean, I just don't think you should hide who you are. I think if there's something about you you want to change, I think that's fine to want to change it, but don't beat yourself up about it. I mean, you just have interest, and that's who you are. I mean, I'm not permitting that to be any interest. Like, okay, if you like killing people, okay, that's not an interest you should pursue or learn to like. But, you know, within reason, you know, if you like something and somebody else doesn't, that's okay. Be honest with yourself.
せめて雰囲気や行いで思いを示してはいかがですか？上達のためにもなりますが、それ以上に兄様が喜ぶでしょうから。
努力するわ。
努力も楽しんでくださいね。演奏に気持ちを込めるとしても、ないものは込められませんからね。
なるほど。お嬢様はご主人様との思い出があるからこそ素晴らしい演奏ができるのですね。
そうなのですよ。兄様とデートをした時のことは今でも鮮明に思い出せますね。
What?
では美咲様もデートをすれば演奏がスキルアップするのでしょうか。
What?
可能性はありますね。技術はあるのですから、残りは感情面だと思いますし。
ほうほう。
Dee Dee's like, oh, yeah, that's a great idea, huh? Freaking Dee Dee. Mistress and her servant continue to push the discussion almost on purpose and turn the gazes in tandem to Misaki. Not to me, but to Misaki. Which would mean they didn't want the invitation to come from me. Turned my gaze to Misaki, beside herself with embarrassment, and waited. The sight of Misaki being this embarrassed really is a sight for sore eyes. While I was lost in thought, she suddenly exclaimed to me while looking me dead in the eyes. And then, seemingly to turn her eyes away from me, she stopped herself from doing so.
誘ってくれてありがとう。先輩の家にお呼ばれするのすっごく嬉しかったわ。だから今度は私から誘っても。家は恥ずかしいから無理だけど、今度は外で二人きりでデートしない？
Let's go, boys. Let's go. This is what I'm about. This is what I'm here for. Of course, I'd be glad to. Misaki's face lit up as I agreed. All I did was accept her offer, but I didn't expect her to be this elated about it. And this was just an invitation. What would she be like on the actual day of it?
先輩とデートだ。
敵に塩を送るよりも玄関先に撒いておいた方が良かったようですね。
Hey, watch it.
兄様を思うがゆえに妹の心は複雑なのです。
As far as I'm concerned, I owe you a favor for
あら、
today.
本当ですか？
I wouldn't lie about this. That's a
あり
promise.
がとうございます、兄様。
You
楽
shouldn't have
しみ
said
に待
that.
たせていただきますね。
You shouldn't have said that. That's a terrible
おやお
idea.
や美咲様はよろしいので。
まあ私があれこれ言うことじゃないしね。それに先輩が喜んでるんだから止めることじゃないでしょ。
美咲さんとはこれからもいい関係を続けられそうですね。
さあね。
これがいわゆるめでたしめでたしというやつですね。
We'll have to see about that. You think so? Though they seem to be allying with each other, there was a fierce battle being fought beneath the surface. They seem to be the best of friends, yet also the bitterest of enemies. I guess girls can have it between them as well. Never a dull moment with these guys, huh? I feel like these are the most, like, 3 eccentric people of the group. I mean, Makoto's kind of out there too, but I'm not sure about it. The sky was utterly devoid of clouds today. Perfect weather for a date. Perfect. Well, it'll be perfect for next episode, because I'm going to end it here. Lot going on here. It seemed like we just had a lot of character building for Misaki. We're getting her ready. I think we're going to go on a date. Maybe practice some more. Maybe do another date or something. I'm not sure. We'll have to see what they end up doing. And then we're going to have this big build up for the concert, which is coming up. I think that's going to be really exciting, and hopefully we'll get to see a big change in Misaki. Have her be honest with herself and have her be honest with us about her feelings. I think there'll be a great build-up and a great emotional payoff for that, so I'm really excited about what's coming up. Hopefully we'll get to see that in the next few episodes. I like when it's not too long. I don't want there to be too much build-up, because then it's like, oh, okay, let's just get it on. You already know what's coming up. So I'm hoping maybe a few more episodes of Misaki's route. We'll see. I don't know exactly how long these routes are. It could still be like 5 more episodes. I'm not sure, but we'll have to see. Anyways, I'm excited about it. I hope you guys are too. And I shall see you in the next episode for their date.